Hi, I'm Lori Hudson, and it is the first day of spring. It's March 20th, 2025, and I'm celebrating today, especially because tomorrow, March 21st, is what would have been our first wedding anniversary, Bob's and mine. Bob died a month after we got married last year on April 28th, but we did get married. We had a celebration of our own before that in January prior, just the two of us, and it was actually beautiful. But then we thought, let's just do it, let's get married, and whatever the consequences are, because you can have some liabilities, legally, but we just, and medically costs and whatever, but we just decided our sealing our public vow was the best thing we could do for each other, and also taking his name, sharing rings, and just having that be the permanence that it was. And 14 years together, we didn't think we had to do it because we knew how we felt towards each other, but anyway, it was really a good thing because now I carry his name, and he doesn't anymore. His ashes were scattered at Isle of Shoals as he wished, and also buried in the family grave, the Goodrich plot, my family, and on the road where we met and where I lived, and in Kennebunkport, where he also built a house nearby that we were going to move into, and then we got on a boat and had so many adventures, and then came back to Maine and thought that we would not be too tame, and so we lived 5 years on an unbridged island, and he had a heart attack out there. He worked on boats, but anyway, then we moved off island and started on a starter home, which we said, do we have the heart for this? Do we really think we can do this again? And we did. We took it on, and it was a heck of a project, and but it turned out beautifully, and that's the home that he died in, and last year. So I'm just doing this quick video, actually. I'm trying to just a little bit about Bob. He was an incredible man. There's nobody like him, and but he was not a stuffed shirt. He was not full of himself. He was just real with people, and kind and funny and happy as he could be. I think underlying that was a sadness. He had just an inner place that he would go, because I think he just felt the pain of life, and he had a big heart. And he was there for me so much. So I was still dealing with the loss of before him, my husband had died. Right before I met Bob, actually 6 months before, I had lost my husband, Michael. And Bob was ready for a relationship with me. He knew, he said right away, and I wasn't ready, and it took me a while, but in the meantime, we became friends. He worked on my house and helped make it a lovely house, and then we decided to sell it anyway and not move in, because stayed in the other house, and that was okay. And then we got on that boat, and then he helped build a new house. So we were doing a lot of projects together, but he always wanted to get back to the water because he loved it so much. And the best times with him was watching him in the sailboat when we were sailing, and just how much he just thrilled with it. The deep blue sea, the dolphins, alongside us. I remember going down to Anegada, this island, on New Year's Day, and dolphins around us everywhere. And it was just such a glorious experience. And he always felt that, there were no roads out there. There were the law. It was the law of the seas. It really is kind of a different thing. It's you take your life into your hands. You risk yourself, especially adverse conditions, which happened all the time. And then we were also taking charge of, I can't imagine, but we did it, of these every week there was a new Boy Scout troop on a Sea Scout program that we took on for 2 years, almost 3 years, when we took Boy Scouts around St. John, a different port every night. We taught them things about sailing and nautical stuff, and all kinds of things that happened in emergencies, which happened regularly. Situations, incidents, and so many things. Kids getting poisoned or stung by urchins, or toxic leaves or reactions and injuries, the parts of the boat malfunctioning, and everybody having to pull together. And I know some kids will never forget those days and Captain Bob. And he was beloved. You know, we went on this island afterwards and lived there, off down east and Great Cranberry, and people there just really loved him as well, and were endeared to him and his giving nature, and he's just completely there for other people. And so happy to be of service, of use, of help, and sharing fun, and his enormous skills, his ability to do anything, fix anything, help in any way he could, and devoted himself to our new home in the Belgrade Lakes, in Rome, Maine. We were off to a real hard start, and we managed. It was cold winters with not perfect heating, and putting in new windows and fixing the floors and, you name it, foundations, etc. Bob just gave his all, and so he's going to be in my heart forever. I love him so much, and I'm so glad he was there as a father in his own way to my kids too, who loved him. So that's it. Just remembering Bob. So